Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
Okay, well, so we're going to be talking to a very special guy. He does something that very few people can do to help people. His name's Mark Morowitz. He's a CPA. He's founder of the Morowitz Financial Services. But I have a special affinity for him because he is helping people who really can't help themselves. And you do know that there are people who, they look like they're whole, W-H-O-L-E, and they've done really well for themselves as they've been aging. But sometimes life gets very complex, and they need, if they don't have a smart son or daughter, they need someone else, but they need someone that they can trust, someone who is smart enough, like Mark is, who's a CPA, and also who has the heart. That's what not everybody feels for the senior or the older adult the way you do, Mark, the way I do. It's something, I don't know where it came from. I don't know, maybe, I think I asked you about that before, but I have that. And so let's just get started. You have, if someone asked you, we call it an elevator speech.
Okay.
An elevator speech, for people who don't know, is if you're on an elevator and let's say there are 20 floors, and someone asked you, what do? You have to tell them in the time it takes from the 20th floor to get down to the first floor. Not a lot of time, but if you can be succinct and you know what you do. So what's your elevator speech?
I am a CPA. I help older people with financial matters. I pay their bills, I do their taxes, I assist them in getting the gas company to come and help read a meter or change a meter. Anything that has to do with their daily life other than nursing care and medical care. That's what I do. Right.
And the problem with what you just said is you do it and you do it well. There are other people that attempt this.
That's correct. If I can, jump in, I anticipate what you might say. But, maybe I'll wait. Why don't you say what you have to say?
I was going to say, people attempt to do what you do, but they don't have the skill. Some of them are dishonest. Some of them aren't really interested. They're just interested in whatever the consulting fee would be. Because a lot of people don't know what to do. They've never had the situations that you have. You've had them personally, you've had them with friends, you've had them now with your clients. And the thing that's so remarkable is that you package it so that somebody can really feel, wow, I really feel better. Mark has really helped me. I have a direction to go now, and he will watch over what's going on. Wow, it's such a relief.
Well, not only that, there are people that are unscrupulous out there, and you have to be very careful today. There are scams left and right. There are also family members that try to do this stuff.
And are scams. I have to say that. I know that. Right now there's a couple of very bad inheritors. People are inheriting money and they're trying to steal all the money from the person.
That's true. I was going to go, on the honest side.
I know you did, but let's tell people.
In addition to those types of scams, there are people, children with good intentions, children, nieces, nephews that do this for their aunts, uncles, parents. And here's what I can say, and it's burdensome. And people get involved, and after a while, they just don't want to do it anymore. But how do you bail out after 6 months? So here's what I say. Would you rather play golf on Saturday morning, okay? And then after you finish playing golf, you have lunch with the guys or the gals, then go visit your mother and have a wonderful visit while Mark is there paying the bills, and you don't have to worry about that. That's the way I like to put it, okay? Does it pay for somebody to do that, to retain my services so that they can not only enjoy their time with their parents, but they can enjoy their time alone?
Okay, but it's more than paying bills that you do.
It is, but that's typically where it starts. When I get an idea of a person's lifestyle, of their needs, Then I can recommend different types of services that I can provide, or recommend different people that, you know, maybe they need to revise a will, or you know, some way to protect their property, or something like that, or trust. So, you know, but it typically starts with learning about their financial habits by paying their bills.
Mark, the one problem that I think, and I'm even faced with this, too much paperwork, just too much stuff. You start with something, and before you know it, there's more, and it's so burdensome. Paperwork is always been this way too, and that's why you're paying bills. But you know, the things pile up on their kitchen table, up, and all the mail comes in.
Yeah, I go through all that. I take care of all the junk mail. I will open up envelopes together, which of course they love to do because it's their life. They don't want to lose control of their life. We'll do all that. I'll get rid of the paper for them. Okay, I have ways of storing it that they don't have. It doesn't take up space on the countertop anymore, and everybody, you know, is a lot happier when life is uncluttered.
That's a very good statement in all ways. What I was going to say, when you were talking about all these things that are out there, I have some friends who are pretty smart, females, and they got on some of these dating sites. And it seems like once the relationship, they haven't really met the person, the relationship's really going, and it's the men, I'm talking about the men, start to ask, I mean, you've seen these things, but these are professionals. It's hard to believe. They all want to either, look, I'm in a jam, I need this, or can we use your credit card for this? I can't believe this. Are people
horrible.
Just stupid?
Everybody has a dream. Everybody paints the picture of their life, and you know, there's a lot of loneliness involved when you get older, and people want, you know, there are some men out there that are very good at weaseling their way into women's lives. They're charming. You know, they'll say whatever they have to say, and it doesn't take long. Okay, and that's another thing. You know, I typically don't think about stuff like that, but I have, you know, had clients that I've had to interject that reasonableness into and say, hey, this isn't good. You know, your reality is off a little bit. This isn't going to happen the way you hope. And there'll be other people. There'll be other men in your life. They'll be good men. This you got to get rid of. And it's out there. That's probably why I've never been on a dating website, and I refuse, because I'm just not that kind of person. I just can't compete with people like that, and you know, in terms of dating. But there are a lot of them out there, and typically you know, men hit 3 or 4 different women. The same men. They circulate.
Kidding.
They circulate.
They try the same thing, and whichever one, it's like catching a fish. Whichever one.
You want to hear what you want to hear.
Yeah, I think that's really what it is. So, and the other thing is they do a lot of texting and emailing before they even speak on the phone.
They do. They have their ways of finding out the information.
Yeah. The interesting thing is, I do know though, probably 5 or 6 fabulous couples who did meet on you know, Match, and they're very happy. It did work out. But
yeah, there's not
I guess
to
you have
say.
to go through. There's a site called Plenty of Fish.
Yeah.
And that's free. But there's some that try very hard to match, but it's the same thing. And it just seems that I wasn't aware of this. I have not done this, but I'm with friends who it's interesting. It's almost watching vicariously. What are you doing? And we laugh about all this, but then sometimes it gets a little serious, and it seems inevitably these people, you know, they'll say, "Uh-oh, here it comes." You know, they want money.
That's right. That's right.
Because you're right. They prey on people. So now let's move into the older adult, the person who's not doing that. But there are other things that happen, whether it's insurance people or financial people who start to try to entice them, you know, with the money that they do have, and also if they're on the internet or if they're on email, boy, the stuff that's coming. You know, I get things from American Express. It's not American Express.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I mean, yeah, them from banks, and it's not the bank.
I got scammed one time myself to renew my Sports Illustrated subscription.
You're kidding.
And I sent the check. I mean, you know, it wasn't that much money. No. I sent the check, and the next thing I knew, I got a letter from Sports Illustrated that said you haven't paid for your subscription. it was such an amazing copy of their logo, and I found out from doing that they actually were nice and gave me half off my subscription, so I only lost half. But they were I learned that, like, for Sports Illustrated, if you have a subscription, everything comes from Tampa. This one came from some address in Los Angeles, and when I looked up the address on the internet, it was a small little office, 10 by 12 office in some office building and it had about 18 different businesses attached to it. So you have to be careful. The internet's there. Just Google it. Google an address. Google a phone number. When you get that phone number, like yesterday, a client called and said they got a phone number from a legitimate number. It looked like a New York number that said that their Social Security number is being suspended.
Oh, I've gotten that too.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, you did the right thing. You called me first.
Yeah, I just ignored
Just
them.
Google the number. You'll see it. It'll come up 42
interesting.
times. It'll come up and say that there are scams associated with that number.
Oh, so you
Just
Google
type in the
phone number.
Type in the phone number.
Well, when I see the Bank of America or I see the other banks I have something with, they would never do this on email. So that's one important thing.
That's right.
And then just go to the bank if you need to. But American Express, boy, they've got this down perfectly.
Yeah.
But you'll notice they don't say much. They have their X's for your note. Yeah.
Just, if any time anybody is asked for their Social Security number or account number over the phone, don't give it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes you have to give your last 4 digits.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, because that's how they, like the gas company or the cable company,
right.
Identifies you. 4 digits. The last 4 is fine, but nothing more than that.
Right. I agree with you. I want everyone to know that you're listening to Mark Morowitz. That's Morowitz. He's a CPA and he's founder of the Morowitz Financial Services. And we have some people watching you that listening to this. The most important thing, the reason I love having you on the radio show is because you do something that I don't have anyone else do. And I know we've talked about, as a CPA, people, of course, will go to you for finance, but it's more than that. It's really that you will arrange for them to have certain things. Let's say you have an elder person, and you will be able to now figure out what they need. Let's say they're lonesome, they're getting things done. You'll probably be able to find a service or find a senior center or something. So you really are, I know it's called financial services, but it's really bigger than that. It's like maybe gerontology services.
It's like family services.
Families, the Jewish Family Services does a lot of this.
That's right. It's just, you have to have empathy, you have to have affinity, you have to listen, you have to watch, and hear what people say they're missing in their lives. And if there's some way you can direct them, that's fine. To get to my services, to get to me, to spend that time with you, to see if I can refer you to some agency or some other services that you might need. It doesn't have to be paying your bills. It could be, come to me, get your taxes done. Let's take let me explain to you about the products that are out there that people may be trying to sell you, annuities, insurance, all the kinds of things you get inundated with phone calls with. Just come in, schedule an appointment with me. We'll sit down, we'll talk, and then we can lead in another direction. It doesn't have to be anything specific. You just want to talk about financial stuff that you may be embarrassed to talk about with other people. Give me a call.
Yeah, give you a call. Do you wind up? I think you said something about their children, their adult children. Do you wind up talking to the adult children also about what you're doing?
Very typical.
Don't they worry about their mother and father?
They do. They worry. They don't have typically the time nor the inclination to deal with the stuff themselves. They just don't want to do it. They need to be comfortable that somebody's not there to steal their money. And as we talked about before, there are a lot of people out there that are dishonest. And I make sure that they get to know me on a personal level so that they're comfortable and consider me as part of the family. That I'm not going to be interested in taking away their inheritances or stealing their parents' money or whatever it is.
Well, you have great credentials, and you see you can point to that too.
I do.
So you're just not somebody they found that
Correct.
way. And hopefully they found you in Boomer Times because you do write excellent articles, and your last one was interesting. And that's something that
trying to figure out what to do for the next one. Nothing's hit me yet.
It will.
I'm coming up with something.
Yeah, it will. But you're an excellent writer, and you're hitting on a lot of things. And something that you said in this article about having a family member move back with you.
Right.
Normally, you're a pretty busy guy, so it probably shouldn't affect you. But when someone moves back and they're a family member, we just have somebody else just popped in here. They need help from you, but yet you can't give it to them the way you give it to other people because you're too close. Isn't that true?
That's right. And your whole life gets turned upside down, and sometimes you need to reach out, to somebody else.
I was going to say, maybe you need somebody to talk to, right?
Absolutely. Even psychiatrists have psychiatrists.
Right, that's true.
Because you take on so many different problems of so many different people that you need to express that to somebody else to maintain your own reality. Yeah,
that's absolutely true. And when you think of it, the kid has moved back in. They don't really want to move back in. They're moving back in because they need to. It's circumstances.
That's right.
And so that's now my son never left until he was 32 or 33, and then he went out and he got married. But he lived at our house, which we really enjoyed, but we didn't have anything. He had his own life. He just liked to be at our house.
Right. When kids move back after they're a little older, after they've been out, as you say, there's usually a reason. Could be financial, could be medical, could be a lot of things, and they don't really want to be there. And you need to set boundaries. You need to not enable them to revert back to their youth, because they're not youth anymore. They're adults, and sometimes that's very difficult as a parent, because you want to see your kids do well, and you got to draw the line. It's very, very difficult. And if you need to ask for help from other people, that's fine, from professionals.
Do you have a dog?
I don't have a dog. My son has a dog.
I was going to say that a lot of times those dogs can make the difference, but he already has one.
He already has a dog. You know what? You have to be prepared. You have to be able to take care of the dog.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? You can't, it's part of the family. And I travel a lot, so I can't have a dog.
Right.
It wouldn't be fair to the dog or me.
Right, but he's there, and he should take. The dog should be a help to him.
Yes, it's good companion. Good companion.
Yeah, I was just telling Mark it was so cold this morning, and I was walking with 50-degree weather. My dog didn't care, but it was sure cold for me, right?
That's right.
But it is a responsibility.
Very much so.
And the other responsibility, and I heard something on NPR this morning, that when this person got arrested for something, and anyway, she was explaining she had a dog, and she was gone for 2 to 3 days. What happens to the dog?
Right, exactly. It's abuse.
Yeah,
it's animal abuse if you don't take care of the dog. But see, if you can't think those things through, you really shouldn't have a pet, a dog, a cat, anything. I think those things through, and they're again. So when a kid moves back home, those are things you have to set the ground rules for.
Yep.
And say, you have to take care of the dog or the cat or whatever you have, because I can't. And a lot of headbutting goes on between parents and children, and again, everybody's an adult, so you can't treat your adult children like they're 10 or 11 years old. They have to be treated like adults.
Right, and there are ground rules, as you said.
Absolutely.
Well, that's an unusual situation, though, that you're going through, and that's not really what I think that it's important that you be talking about on this show. I think, although on one side it is, because you are a human being and you have many situations, just like the people who you're caring for have situations.
It can happen to anybody.
Right. And so, let's say, who would the perfect client be for you?
The perfect client, I suppose, somebody in their probably early 80s, mid to late 70s, early 80s, who is financially stable, doesn't have to be wealthy, but stable enough that they can afford to pay my fee, which is reasonable, by the way. who might have a slight touch of dementia, might have a little loneliness in their life, may need somebody to talk to, and would like to see me for an hour once a week or every 2 weeks to help them pay their bills or to get their financial house in order.
Or just share.
Or just to,
share.
Sit and talk.
Right.
You know what? I don't know if you're familiar with the movie, I think it was The Sandlot, where these kids were playing baseball and they hit the ball over the fence and there was a giant dog that lived there, okay? And they couldn't get the ball back because the stories they had heard about this dog, the dog was about 14 feet tall, okay? But it was a
right.
big dog,
yeah.
but a very, very, it had turned out to be a very sweet dog. James Earl Jones was in the movie. And, James Earl Jones ended up, he was blind. He was a former Major League Baseball player. He turned out to be blind. And these kids needed to get their ball back, and they knocked on the door one day and said, "We can't get our ball. The dog has it." And he invited them in, and they sat down, and he told them stories, and he told them about Babe Ruth and all of these things. And that is what I do with people. I sit down and let them tell me stories.
And what's the name of it again? The Sandlot? I think it was The
Sandlot.
Oh, I'll have to look that up because that sounds wonderful.
It's about 20 some odd years ago.
Doesn't matter, right? It's always good.
It's always good.
That was a very good example of what you do.
That's what I do.
Right.
I sit there and I listen to your stories because nobody else has the time to do it.
Yeah, but with a reason. You're listening to the stories, and a lot of time you analyze what's on their mind and why they're disturbed, right?
Sometimes, and it all depends. Sometimes they just want to tell people something. Sometimes they just want to, tell a story. They don't have anybody that comes and listens to them because they don't have time. So they're home alone. So I come, and under the guise of paying their bills, I'll listen to their stories. And I get paid for that.
And so it's home alone. Yeah, that's what happens with people.
That's right.
There are so much lonely. They're alone so much.
They don't drive anymore. They give up their driver's licenses, so their freedom is gone. Okay, they don't have people come for the first couple of months and they make sure that they're there all the time and they bring them food. The neighbors come and then it stops. It stops because that's just the way life is. It's human nature. People have their own lives and they have to get back to them. So people are stuck. They're stuck at home and they don't have any company.
But if they have money, isn't Uber a good way for them to go places?
I'm not sure that there's a lot of people.
I don't know get on the iPhone and then get Uber.
That use it. I mean, the younger generation uses it all the time.
Yes.
I mean, I use it, but I'm not sure that the people that I'm talking about, the early '80s, that may have a little dementia, they're not going to use Uber. They may have there may be a service if they live in a community.
Yes.
That can drive them around.
That's right. That's one thing that people do. There are a lot of retirees who get extra money by being a driver.
Right. But that's not the same thing. So they take them to their doctor's appointments. Right. They take them to the drugstore. People want to be able to sit in their house and tell stories about the painting on the wall where they got it from, or the little statue of Don Quixote, and they want to talk about the the play that they went 2 years ago, and that's the kind of stuff that I reserve. If I reserve an hour's worth of time, I pay bills, and then we talk about the stuff that they want to talk about, and it's the highlight of their week because somebody's there.
Do you pay bills on the computer?
Sometimes. Some people like to write the checks out, and they sign the check. I don't do that.
Not.
Some people I pay bills online, through bill pay in their own bank account. Some people give me the ability to do that power, but everything is accounted for. So people have the right to. I don't keep people out of knowing anything about what they have financially. That's just not the way I work.
No, of course not. You wouldn't do something like that. So this is a very good thing, and people, I have to give a way for you to get in touch with Mark. It's really important. I'm going to give you his phone number. Remember, this is Pencil Talk Radio. So it's 609-338-3603. Let's do that again. 609, this is because he still has a cell number from up north. 609-338-3803.
3603.
What did I say?
38.
I did. I do this with you all the time, and I don't
Do it
know why
one
I'm
more
testing
time.
you.
I'm
going to do it 5 more times.
I'm listening. So.
I know you. That's right. 609-338-3603. That's it. I don't know. You're the only person I do this with. I don't know what. Maybe I'm trying to get your attention, right? I want you to know that you're listening,
Okay,
right?
I'm
You're listening to me. Okay.
am.
Let's do it again. The cell phone is 609-338-3603. We can say 3603. Okay? We got it.
I need to get some kind of a jingle, I suppose, you know.
A jingle?
Yeah, I haven't thought of one yet, so to go along with the phone number. So.
Well, we do have a commercial for you. You know, we play that.
Oh,
Did
really?
you know that?
I didn't know that. No.
Oh, well, I'll have to send that to you.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. We do have a commercial for you.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'll make sure that you have that and that you hear it.
You know, the important message that I'd like to get out is, you know, there's no embarrassment in having people help you with your finances, okay? As long as they're honest and empathetic. Don't be afraid to call me, okay? I'll make sure you'll be able to pay for me, and I'll make sure that your life will be enhanced by knowing me and having me visit you.
You're tempting me because there's so many things, you know, that I need somebody to tell me and to help me. I mean, it's like too many. Anyway, okay. Mark, I'm going to give you a phone number again so we make sure everybody has that. This is his cell phone, so he'll call you back right away. It's 609-338-3603. And that's Mark Morowitz, Morowitz. And read his articles every month in Boomer Times. They're really very interesting, very good. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.